Boom, doom, doom. Doodly boop boom. Ba-doop boop boom. Be-dee-dee. Ba-doop-bum-bum. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome once again to Smirky Live, a little show where I just talk about what's going on here at Smirk and Dagger. And this week I'm really kind of just top lining a lot of the different things. We're juggling a lot of balls in the air as we get closer to con season and a bunch of other things, which I guess I'm going to start at the top with. So. Like many of you, I've been kind of thinking about, well, what is going on with the cons? Now, a lot of people happen to see that Gen Con just updated their policies this week, so that masks are once again a requirement for the show floor. Um, so they had relaxed it as it looked like things were getting better, and of course, nationwide things are looking a little bit less good in the last week or two. So naturally, I think it was probably a wise decision to do. Certainly, we were going to be wearing masks in any case. That just makes sense for us. Makes everyone else feel comfortable out there as they approach the show, and we definitely want to have people feel comfortable when they come by the booth. So I see we got a couple of people joining us. Let's see, we got Timothy and John. Um, Timothy's asking, when is Night Cage coming out? Oh my! All right, so Timothy, the answer is backers are really just getting their games now, but we expect the games have finally arrived in our warehouse, which then ships out to all the distributors, and then finally out to retailers. So we are in the process of having that happen. So I'd say we're probably a good week and a half, 2 weeks at the most before those copies start hitting retailers. But many retailers actually were backers, so those games delivered to those retailers right along with the backers. So some stores do have them. So just check in with your local store and see. Um, and John is saying that I rock. Well, thank you, John. You rock too, baby. So yeah, back to Gen Con. A lot of people have asked me, well, how are we feeling about Gen Con? You're heading out there and you're going to do Origins right after that. And are you nervous about it? Are you feeling good about it? And the answer is, probably a little bit of both. I think, like everyone. I've at this point going to two conventions almost back to back. I've almost resigned myself to the fact that I'm probably going to get some kind of low grade form of COVID while I'm out there. I've been vaccinated, so I'm not likely to get hospitalized. But I mean, chances are with so many people, there's just a good chance, right? And I think we all have to kind of be prepared for that. But again, if you're vaccinated, hopefully, yeah, it's gonna be really garbagey. You're gonna feel terrible, but you're probably not gonna be in the hospital, and that's really what the whole vaccination is about, right? So, by the way, I do in fact now have the booth numbers. So in this graphic, you'll see at Gen Con we are in booth 2323, which is a nice big 2020 as we normally have. And in Origins a week later, we've got this interesting L-shaped booth 735. And so that should be kind of interesting as we wrap around a bit of a poll, I think. All right, we got a bunch of other folks out here. Holly, good to see you. Hey, Jen's out here. She says, we played Night Cage Sunday night and loved it. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me flash forward a second over here, because we continue to get a whole bunch of really great photos from fans who have gotten their games and are starting to post them. And I love images like this where people are actually using their candles. Honestly, I wasn't sure how cool they would be. I was hoping, but they really do add a lot of atmosphere. A lot of people said, "Oh my goodness, they're actually a lot brighter than we expected." And you can pretty much play by candlelight. Of course, if only one person is lights up, that might be a little rough, but but it's great to see so many of them. And let's see. So, I see we got CJ out there, George, Brad, Jandi. Hey, Jandi. And and of course, we got Jonathan out there too. All right, let's see. George is saying, we played the Night Cage and it was amazing. Thank you, George. Thank you for one of the most atmospheric experiences I've had in a long time. I needed that. Oh, that's great, George. I'm delighted you felt that way. Hopefully, you also played with the soundtrack, which, beautifully composed by the team. And man, I think it's just so moody, and it's just timed so well to the experience with those candles as well flickering. That's quite a treat. CJ is like, yeah, new game from the cons, The Ill. Yeah, see if you can avoid getting it. That's not much of a fun game. Well, but I guess you try to stay on top of it. Let's see what else we got up here. So we did get, like I said, so many really cool images from our fans. This one shows, of course, like the deluxe package with the acrylic tile. You can see pretty well in here. And this actually looks like there's a little bit of a paint applied to the figs here. There's just a little candlelight color and a little modeling to the skin on that fig. So that is pretty cool looking. Yeah, really beautiful. Now, all this candlelight, of course, brings up one of the big pieces of news / headache that some people have heard about. At one point, I heard from one of our fulfillment partners out in China that we had an issue delivering some of our games because, well, I made the boxes when I printed them for retail use, basically. So, like, all the extra stuff that I kind of put in there for backers, the be it the acrylic, the figures, the LED lights, all that, they just kind of went in the box, and it wasn't really listed anywhere on the outside, which I'm gonna have to do differently next time because retailers already told me, well, that was kind of dumb. They can't market it very well that way. So those retailers who backed us. So I will do some kind of a more deluxe sticker next time. But the other problem is, of course, that I didn't think, and my printer didn't really highlight this, we had actually put the LED candles in a box without saying, oh, wait, there are candles in our LED lights. And that's something that you really have to mark because those can't go on planes unless you tell people that they're in there. So they got caught by security. It became kind of a big deal. It shut down shipping across the world for about a week as we got all the data on the batteries. Now, obviously, they were alkaline, they were common, they were not actually a threat on any plane anyway. But of course, you have to mark that on the box. So it was quite a headache for a while, which has all like settled down and been figured out, and everything is fine now. But man, talk about just like hair pulling and last minute palpitations of the heart. Let's see. Brad, we got some comments out here. Just Brad is saying, "Be careful. Lots of rest, vitamin C, and Zycam." Yeah, as we get to the cons, that's the other thing. COVID aside, folks, we haven't really been together in a very long time, and let's not forget, like, just being in a large space with a whole bunch of people, just the regular cold season is enough to to have kind of spreading things. So hopefully the Macs help with that too. But yes, take all the other precautions you can too. And I'm definitely going to be trying, rest and vitamin C as you mentioned. John is asking, how did we get stuck with booth 735? Well, actually, not necessarily stuck. We were going to be towards the back because it's Origins, and that's kind of where we live. We were going to be doing a line of 3 booths, like kind of one in a row, and we actually Sandra had mentioned, hey, you know what? Why don't you just like take the other one and make a nice L and create an end cap that wraps around? So it's actually, I think, even better than what we might have had otherwise. So I think we can work with. Yeah, there's a pole, but we're going to have, I think, kind of a light staff at Origins. Most people are going to come with us to Gen Con. So I think we'll have plenty of space to do everything we need to do there. Um, see, Shandi's talking about the candles are so cool, and I agree. I'm so glad we included them, even with all the headaches aside. They re- they really kind of set the tone and atmosphere and have made for some amazing photos. I'm tickled every time I see one. So we've got let's see, Jen, components are spot on, great job. Oh, let's see. Jonathan is saying, well, going back to Gen Con, we're going to do lots of back and forth because lots of people are chatting. Thank you so much, everybody. We have lots of online events. Thank you, Jonathan. That's really important to say. For those people who are not attending Gen Con is also doing digital Gen Con. And last year, we were one of the few companies that really had a very successful digital Gen Con. My team was actually in the Discord channel, greeting you just as they do in our actual booth. And I think it was only like an hour into it that it really felt like we had a booth at Gen Con. And so people would be like, they'd show up, they weren't sure where to go. They'd be directed into a room where they could actually like play on Tabletop Simulator. With audio on Discord, and they came out and they started going back to the audio room, the main hallway, because they wanted to talk to the staff we had working there. It's like, oh my god, that was so cool! Thanks so much for doing this. Like, it really felt like a con. So we are planning to do that again. We've got a whole bunch of digital events. You'll be able to play the Night Cage, the Spill, our brand new one, Deadlies, Cinder. I might be forgetting something. Oh, and actually, Jonathan is going to be doing some Hex Decks coming up at Gen Con. So be sure to check that out. We have really kind of honed that in, and it's getting very, very tight now. So this is the time to try it out again. All right. George is back saying, oh, he did have the soundtrack on while he was playing the Night Cage. Candles everywhere. He basically trapped his guests as soon as they came into the house. He's got pics and videos soon. Oh, and coming from George, that should be really a treat. I'm looking forward to seeing those. Denise, hey, my friend Denise is here. Dickie's here. Oh my goodness. Brad, candles and boxes on airplanes, and this is how Curt begins his own personal Night Cage experience. Well, it kind of felt like that. I was kind of, oh, I was trapped. And but we found the light and we made it to the gate. So yay us. Cable's asking if we are going to Origins. Yes, absolutely, we are. So and he says we still need to get a game of Cutthroat Caverns in. Well, if we can possibly play in the booth, we will. But we're going to be a little tight on staff, so it might have to after hours there, Cable. Let's see. Oh, Susan, Yvonne. How you doing, Q? How you doing? Thanks for joining us. And we've got Dickie. I think he's played the Night Cage at online Gen Con last year for the first time. Yes, you absolutely did. And again, we'll be doing that again. So really great stuff. And of course, Rick is out there as well. Hey, Rick, thanks for joining us. Michelle, I'm loving my copy of the Night Cage, playing it every chance I get. I know the designers are like super excited, probably more even than I am, and I'm pretty excited. So thanks so much. I'm glad everyone is having a great time. By the way, some more shots, and so this is great. It looks like someone is actually like tipping the candle in to see a little bit more clearly. That's just fun. And the other thing is, so excuse me. Once again, I want to let people know that Dized is a great tool if you've got your copy but you haven't cracked it open yet. Dized is an interactive tutorial experience where you could put the rulebook aside, open the box. It'll teach you how to set up, how to do your first plays, and walk you through. It's like having a demo person right there in the room with you, it's right now it's got a computer voice, but I think we're actually going to have it officially narrated in the next couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that. But this is a great photo that they provided. It actually a candle lit next to the actual app. That's a screenshot from the app. And then we've got, of course, this is actually like a screenshot of, how it actually looks on screen. It's amazing. It's all animated. And here is this a fan posted this up of their kid actually learning the game by themselves, playing the solo version, and they were loving it. It's just that simple. And I think this is something that we definitely are going to want to do with a bunch of our other games. And if in fact, you know what I've got? I wonder if people have a moment to take a look at this. Let me share my other screen here. Do 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 do. There we are. Okay. So this, if I can get this up even bigger, I don't think I can. This is how it actually works. So let me load it. This is something that you can either get the app downloaded on your own mobile device or tablet, or you can actually go to the web portal. Now, um, originally, this was a paywall, and we had a code in the box that you could actually use. But now the service is free, at least for the time being. So no one actually needs a code to get in. Just go to dice.com, find the night cage in the interactive tutorials, and you'll be guided right through. So it looks like it's loading right now. Kind of neat. Can I get any bigger? I'm going to try. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Because it's pretty neat. There we go. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, that's why. I'm not sure if the audio is actually coming through the feed. Jonathan says, yeah, you can't hear it. But, you can kind of click forward by clicking this. You can pause and rewind. This is all, of course, the intro. It's got the soundtrack in it, which is kind of great. So did double duty there. And it just walks you through everything. So, okay, you don't have to use the advanced pieces. So put those back in the box. How many players you want to play with? Well, let's do we'll do 3. So we're going to flip the board to the right side. We're going to assemble the actual candle holder. These animations are really great. Oh, Dickie's like, Curt, you do the voice. Okay. Place the tile holder to one side of the board. Place the discard board next to it, making sure it's showing the correct amount of prisoners. That's how I would do it. But in any case, so yeah, it goes all the way through setup, including all the things that you need, and then it just starts getting into it. Go ahead, load all your tiles into the stack. Nice job. Put the extra that you put aside, all the generic tiles, and then tell us about the objectives. Get a key, right? And then everyone's got to get to the gate. So then that's the overview. So it tells you how you're going to lose. Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? It looks like even more animation has been added since I was here last. Yoni's great. So in any case, I did want to show you that. I think it's really cool. But take the time and go ahead and find this on your own. Just go to dice.com and you can take a look at it. It's really cool. Even if you already know how to play, I think you will probably enjoy looking at it. So, all right. Meanwhile, let me now stop sharing that and get back to this. Okay, so that's where we were. All right. Okay. Oh, Richard is saying that he and I need to do a TikTok dance on the Origins TikTok. Yes, please. In fact, I need to talk to you about TikTok in general, so I will make good on that appointment that you hit me up with. All right, but next up, let's see what else we're going to talk about today. Oh, so yeah, we talked a little bit about Hex Decks, and this, of course, is the game that my team surprised me with as a brainstorm and said, "Hey, what if we created the first game we've ever made, Hex, and now we do it as a very unique and twisted version of a deck builder?" Well, it's amazing. It's getting very, very close to a final design now. We're just balancing some characters, and I've also started to bring in other design talent. So Cold Castle Studios helped me out with the logo and the back of this card. So kind of a nice look at this. And the faces of the cards have all changed as well. Ooh, I'm going to have to zoom this up. Oh, these. Oh no, it's too low res. Bad. Okay, well, but while you can't see a lot of the gorgeous detail, there's a lot of really fun stuff happening in the background. I'll have to do this again when I've got a better image of it. Um, and it's just really looking tight and sharp. I wanted it to look distinct from the original, and it really is coming out great. Plus, there's so much more strategy involved in this game than there ever was. And it keeps on getting more and more interesting as we put in more things. So the last thing we were just working on was actually we're creating schools of magic in all the deck, and there's almost 100 unique cards in this game, which is pretty crazy. And now we also are going to be having scorecards for alternate scoring at the end based on how many cards of various types you have from what school, and it's really creating a very interesting game where what you're building and what you're playing are about equally as important. And of course, it's got this buy on the fly system where you are purchasing cards and putting immediately into your hand where you can play them immediately. And so far as I know, I think this is the only deck builder that does that. And it is really, really exciting. This is probably going to be a project that we're going to be taking care of and launching next year at some point. Maybe June is my guess. But we are quickly doing a bunch of design and development on it. So I should have some artwork of the mages maybe next week. Oh, yeah, maybe next week. So here's fingers crossed. We have got Lindsay Look working on those, so whenever she's ready. All right. Yeah, Jonathan is like, excite. I know, me too. Let's see. And of course, the big news for everyone is coming down the pike. It is the spill. We are working on the video right now. I think I'm supposed to see a rough, actually, maybe even a near final cut of this tomorrow night. So we are getting ready for our September 7 launch. So mark it on your calendar. It's pretty darn exciting, and Andy and I have actually been sitting and just making sure the rules are as tight as possible. We made one change to it this past week in the resource cards, where back in the day, a good year and a half ago, the resource cards were kind of just randomly drawn. If you earned one, you flipped over the top card, and you saw what it did. More recently, in past months, we created a system where you could actually choose those tools for your team at the beginning of the game, which was really, really cool. And you activate them. What has been what we then started looking at there, one of the people that we brought in for content creation actually said, hey, you know what, you might have some abuse on maybe one or two of these resource cards. So we ended up, Andy and I, talking about it, and we actually came up with a hybrid system so that we won't have any potential abuse with those. And I think it was actually a really good build. Oh, Connor's here. Hey, how you doing, Connor? He says he's going to be backing this and hyping the hell out of it. Well, thank you very much, Connor. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's there's so many really great aspects to this game. It's got wonderful tension. It's got great pathos. It's got amazing table appeal, and I love the energy around the game, the drama that it presents. So really fun. Gilbert's here. Hey, Gilbert, how you doing? What else can we talk about this week? Well, we've got Boom Patrol that is also being developed. And again, if you hadn't heard, I'm heartbroken to say that we did lose Anthony, the designer of the game. He finally lost his bout with cancer. I was hoping that we were going to be able to, at the very least, launch this before we lost him, but that's sadly not the case. But we're still working with Nicole, who's the co-designer. We're still going to be continuing on in this game full force. It's probably going to be our very next project that we'll kickstart, and if it's not going to be this fall, it will definitely be in the very beginning of next year. Work has been going like gangbusters on this right now because I was really pushing to get it done. We've actually just had some really exciting changes to the game. It's kind of thing where you always want your game to deliver more of the great fun things it does, and anything that's slowing it down, you pull them out. And so we were sitting down doing a play test over at Matt Fantastic Store. They had a designers night, and we were talking about how some of those things might be improved. And we were finding the games were running just a little bit long, and we weren't in conflict quite enough. And through a couple small tweaks, I think we've definitely gotten it there. So now people are powering, like crashing through buildings without much hesitation anymore, and getting right into the fray, which has been great. It's getting a little bit more like Mario Kart in terms of some of the crazy stuff that happens, and I think that's just about right, because this really does feel like an arcade game on the tabletop, and I think that's what we really want to promote. Especially so, we've got these great tank commanders that are now going to be animals. So just very excited for all of these things. Man, so those are a lot of the things that have been going on this week. I also just want to say, if you're looking for something to listen to, I was just turned on by a friend to a Lord of the Rings recording podcast. It's you just do a Google search for this. Then the guy who's doing the reading is Phil Dragash, Dragash, and it's so good. It's completely unabridged, and like the chapters are like an hour long, and it's the full 3 books of the Lord of the Rings. It's a labor of love. It's got music and sound effects, and he does a great job doing all the voices. Patty, thank you for showing me this thing. It is amazing. I've spent the evenings here, doing artwork and listening, of course, to the books. So really, really good. Let's see. Some other things going on out here. Who do we see? Oh, Josh. Hey, thanks for joining us. Night Cage looks incredible. Thank you. Do you know if any newer games, Night Cage, The Spill, will be coming to the Dex Envoy program? Oh, that's a great question. The answer is yes. The Spill obviously will be a ways off, because that won't be actually produced in time, until that's going to be next year. It's going to deliver. The Night Cage, as soon as we get our second shipment in, we won't have enough. The first shipment was sold out before it even got here. That's how crazy excited people have been about the Night Cage. But yes, but when we get the second one in, which by the way, I found I don't know how. I found a shipping vessel that I could actually afford to utilize. It's on the boat now, so they are coming in. It's probably going to be here in mid September, which means probably by end of September, beginning of October. That's where those games are going to start, hitting retail, and of course, we'll have those for the Dex Envoy program as well. And of course, those are the great folks who are at the cons nationwide, doing all our play to wins and demo events at conventions where we can't even be there. So yes, thank you for that. Oh, Dickie asked if I can put a link up. Yes, you know what? I will put a link into the chat after the show's over for that. And he says Andy Serkis did a nonstop reading of The Hobbit last year for charity. Ooh, I'm gonna have to take a look for that. I would definitely give that a listen. That really among my favorite of books. There's just something about the poetry of the way he writes. So. But other things. Well, what's going on with everyone else? How are you all feeling about the cons? I know a lot of people, want to be there, but are feeling like the time's not right. I know some people are, prohibited by, coming across the borders in the U.S. That's a problem, facing everyone outside of the U.S. trying to get to any of these cons. Yeah, I mean, for people who are like, yeah, I'm not quite ready, I don't blame anybody. It's who knows what it's going to be like in a month. But we're certainly going to be there. We are going to be ready to showcase all our new stuff, let you try them out. I know the designers of the Night Cage have at one point they weren't going to be coming, and now all three will be there. So they're going to be doing demos in the booth, so you can come and learn how to play with the creators of the game. That's going to be very exciting. And of course, we'll have the Instigator team there as well to say hi and meet y'all. We'll probably have some specials too, I think. And we'll also should have some of the elements from the Kickstarter. We should have some leftovers being shipped in for those shows. So might be another reason to stop by the booth. Michelle says that they just had a con of 2,500 people 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure where that was. Everyone was great about wearing their masks. Still a little hesitant, but was happy with that result. Wow, that's really cool, Michelle. Let us know where that was. But I'm glad to hear that people were at least being mindful of others and hopefully themselves as well as they approached that con and maybe other cons as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I love conventions. I love demoing games. I love seeing all the fans. And it's been too long. So I'm really looking forward to it, even though I'm a little hesitant, as I think we all are, but I really just can't wait to see everybody. So, and Dickie is asking if there's any news on UK shipping. I have not received that. I have asked again for an update today. So if I haven't heard by tonight or tomorrow, I'd be very surprised. And I'll make an update on the page as soon as we hear that. For some reason, UK shipping has been really dragging. It took a while to get to France, and then from France over to the UK. I'm not even sure exactly why, but that has been an issue. And it was Michelle says it was Anime Iowa. Oh, okay, very good, out in Iowa. Well, yay, and a pretty decent sized turnout. So terrific. Justin Emery, hey, how you doing? He doesn't want to miss Gen Con. Yeah, I understand. But hopefully next year, Justin. Yep, I know you'd have a tough time getting in. So, Marina, when will be able to buy the Night Cage? Right, I was saying that a little bit ago. With any luck, a week and a half, 2 weeks, unless your retailer was actually a backer, in which case you can probably find them now. So take a look. But yeah, and of course we will have plenty at Gen Con and Origins as well for those who will be there. And I imagine we will also apportion a few out so we can sell some online for those who are doing the events and are looking to pick up the game. So we'll make arrangements for that as well. Well, anyway, that's about all the news I had to share this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, it's always great to see people and chat in the comments and hear what you guys are all thinking about. So thanks again for showing up. And next week we'll have another show. Hopefully, I'll have a video to show you at that time. And till then, have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.